So you want a Honda Goldwing. You want the functional equivalent of a motorcycle that exudes girthy utility. You want to crush serious miles on the motorcycle equivalent of a minivan. You want to take a long cross-country adventure with your boys while you leave your wife and kids at home. Well, you're in luck. In continuous production since 1974, the Honda Goldwing has repeatedly upped the ante for what is expected of a top-of-the-line touring motorcycle. With bulletproof Honda reliability and a commitment to making the most advanced touring motorcycles ever built, the Honda Goldwing has secured its place in motorcycling not just as one of the best touring bikes ever made, but one of the best overall in any category. So let's take a look at the Honda Goldwing on today's episode of Transcontinental Cup Holder Dude, Yammy Noob. Today's video is sponsored by our friends over at Rockform. Now let's get into it. Honda Goldwing, where do I even begin? Not only is the Goldwing platform older than many of you watching this video, it's older than even your parents. Hell, it's like twice as old as I am, I think. And if you're from the deep south where having children at the age of 14 is commonplace, the Goldwing might even be older than some of your grandparents. In the early 70s, Honda broke the motorcycle industry with the development of the truly OP CB750. Notable brands like Harley-Davidson in American and Triumph in the UK were both seriously hurting now that riders could get a highly advanced and sporty motorcycle that had cutting-edge design and didn't leak any oil or rattle itself to death. Since the choice became clear that the CB750 and subsequent UJM bikes from the rest of the Big Four were the ideal choice for motorcycles that wanted a sporty bike, Honda needed a new target for obliteration. They yet again aimed their sights on Harley-Davidson, specifically the Electra Glide model, as their next victim. The sporty UJM bikes were the perfect package for an all-around town bike or weekend toy, but they didn't offer any of the comfort or features that made for an ideal long-distance touring bike. In order to create an optimal touring platform, they would need to create a motorcycle with a large fuel capacity, comfortable seating and suspension, wind protection, storage options, and enough power for a big rig like that to still have some get up and go when laden with a passenger and some luggage. The Goldwing was Honda's solution to these requirements, and its introduction to the market gave riders a new choice in contrast to the big lumpy touring bikes from Harley-Davidson and the expensive models from BMW. Production for the first generation Goldwing, the GL1000, began in 1974. The Goldwing used a 999cc flat-4 engine mounted longitudinally in the frame for ease of use with a shaft final drive. This engine was actually the first liquid-cooled Japanese 4-stroke engine used in a production motorcycle, only predated by the 2-stroke GT750 Water Buffalo from Suzuki. The early iteration of the Goldwing was actually sold as a standard naked UJM bike, with luggage and other touring accessories being sold as aftermarket options. Between 1975 and 1979, Honda had sold nearly 100,000 Goldwings in the United States. Talk about a runaway success. For the second generation Goldwing, the GL1100, the displacement was increased to 1085 cc's to compete with other larger displacement Japanese bikes that have been in development. It was during this time that production of the Goldwing moved from Japan to Marysville, Ohio, where it would remain until 2011. This strategic move by Honda offered multiple benefits. The Goldwing was being deliberately marketed towards North American riders, so production in the US would allow Honda to avoid certain import tariffs on large displacement motorcycles and allow the Goldwing to be advertised as being made in America. For a time, buying the Honda Goldwing was more of an American choice than buying an F-150. During the production of the second generation Goldwing, the bike that was originally built for touring was now finally able to be purchased as a fully dressed touring bike, coming equipped with all the necessary luggage accessories from the factory. It was at this time that the motorcycle became equipped with the famous air ride suspension and unified braking system. The third generation Goldwing saw an increase in displacement from 1182 cc's to stay competitive with the other metric touring bikes of the time. These early Goldwings created a new standard for creature comforts and rider accessories on touring motorcycles. But you know what they didn't have? A Rockform phone mount system. If you're trying to crush serious miles on the saddle of Honda's two-wheeled minivan, you're gonna want to use a Rockform case and mounting system. How else will you know that your wife Karen has a fresh casserole about to come out of the oven if you don't have your phone within arm's reach? Cases from Rockform are drop tested to military standards and offer 360 degrees of protection reaction. Seriously, I have a Rockform case on my phone. I have yeeted this phone so hard straight into concrete and nothing has happened. It's pretty sweet. Their MagSafe design ensures you can easily attach it to everything from your toolbox to a wireless charger. I chuck my Rockform on things all the time. It's super useful. When it comes to your digital lifeline, don't cheap out on your case or mounting system. Rockform products are designed purposely for riders just like you. Whether you're a touring dad or any other kind of rider, Rockform has a handlebar or stem mount that will work great for you. So head over to rockform.com and use the code YN25 at checkout for 25% off. Again, that's YN25 for 25% off. Save some cash on your Rockform and put the savings toward gas money for your next long motorcycle trip. Thanks Rockform for the continued support. Now let's get back to the video. The fourth generation of the Goldwing, which ran from 1987 to 2000, was a large shift from earlier models, and the bike began to look more similar to the touring machine we know of today. For this, Honda upped the ante by using a 1520cc flat 6-cylinder engine that produced a whopping 110 foot-pounds of torque. This is straight up a car engine. I mean, it's crazy. It was at this time Honda outfitted the Goldwing with its fully encased fairing for a sleek and modern design and aerodynamic functionality. The bike now weighed nearly 800 pounds, so to assist in backing the bike up, Honda equipped the fourth generation Goldwing with a reverse gear, an addition that would become an iconic feature of the Wang. The technology motorcycle was becoming more advanced as well, with air pressure for the rear suspension being adjustable via an onboard compressor. An audio system was equipped, as well as other options like a CB radio so you can have sensual conversations with lonely truckers on the road, which is what I imagine Honda Goldwing guys do on the regular. By 2001, Honda decided 1500 cc's just wasn't enough displacement for bloated American fathers to comfortably travel coast to coast in search of their lost masculinity, so the Goldwing 6 cylinders was bumped to a greater 1820 cc's. This led to an increase in power, netting 118 horsepower and 123 foot-pounds of torque. I'm pretty sure an 1800cc flat 6 is probably what they put in the first air-cooled Porsches. I mean, it's literally a car engine. It's crazy. Honda kept adding creature comforts as well, like an airbag, in-dash GPS, heated grips, a heated seat, adjustable air vents, and in 2012, production was moved out of Ohio and back to Japan. The current generation of Goldwing started in 2018. The new bike had an updated and redesigned style and a modern suite of electronics. The 1833cc flat 6 makes 125 ponies and 130 foot-pounds of torque. Power figures that will rival any engorged Harley-Davidson on the road, but with much smoother delivery. Seriously, the flat 6 on the Goldwing is an absolute gem of a motor. The new throttle-by-wire system allows for varying ride modes, and to prevent the 130 foot-pounds of torque from getting away from you, the modern Goldwing has traction control as well as hill start assist. Because nothing is more fun than trying to start an 850-pound motorcycle while on a hill. The 2023 Goldwing features electronically adjustable suspension, where you can choose between presets for a single rider, a rider with loaded bags, a rider with a passenger, and a rider, passenger, and loaded bags. The current Goldwing is actually pretty svelte for a fully loaded touring bike weighing just 804 pounds wet and ready to ride in base trim. That's over 100 pounds lighter than some previous Goldwings and a lot lighter than some Harley-Davidsons too. The Goldwing is one of the models from Honda that can be purchased with a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission as well. If you want to give your left hand a break and opt for the automatic option, it not only comes with the Goldwing's reverse gear, but also with a walking speed forward gear to help you usher this beast along at slow speeds. As it currently stands, the 2023 Goldwing ranges between $25,600 and $32,900 depending on the trim level, transmission type, and whether you choose to opt for the addition of an airbag system. Yeah, like I said, it's a car on two wheels. Ever since Honda has been making boomers cream their jean shorts with the Goldwing's touring prowess, other manufacturers have tried their hand at making a motorcycle that rivals its ability, though few have come close. We can all agree the Goldwing is the gold standard, but Suzuki's touring category is limited to the Boulevard C50T. With the amount of leather and metal rivets on that bike, the average touring dad is going to think they accidentally walked in on their wife's swinger party and not a motorcycle dealership. Cringe. Hard pass on the Boulevard. The closest touring option still produced by Yamaha is the FJR 1300, which is more of the quintessential sport touring bike than the minivan on two wheels that the Goldwing is. Kawasaki sells the Vulcan 1700 Vaquero, which is just a big Vulcan with saddlebags. It doesn't really have any of the space-age tech that the Goldwing has, will also pass in the Cowie. See what I'm saying? The Goldwing kind of sits on its own throne. But the motorcycle that may come close to rivaling the Goldwing is the BMW K1600 series. BMW has been no stranger to luxurious touring motorcycles, having produced many high-end touring bikes since the 1980s. The K1600 has a 1649cc inline six-cylinder engine that makes 160 horsepower and 133 foot-pounds of torque. I did a whole ride and review on the K1600 if you want to go and check that out. I was left walking away being like, why does this thing even exist in the world when sport touring bikes are so dang good? The base K1600 is also a little bit lighter than the base Goldwing, weighing just 754 pounds, wet and ready to ride. The K1600 has a tech package akin to what is offered by the Goldwing as well, using a 10-inch TFT dash with integrated navigation, switchable ride modes, dynamic traction control, hill start assist, heated grips, and a heated seat. Goldwing simps, you may want to make sure you're sitting down for the next part. The K1600 even has a reversed assist. Gear is nothing sacred anymore. The K1600 comes in various trim models like B, GT, and GTL in Grand America, which vary slightly in their equipment. The base price for a K1600 is $22,945, which actually is a lot of bike for the money, and the Grand America comes in at $28,130. The BMW K1600 might be the Goldwing's closest competitor, but any advantage it may have is trumped by the fact that it's a BMW and you'll get fleeced on service and no one will like you. From any tried and true real American motorcyclist, the Goldwing's biggest competitor is a bagger model from Harley-Davidson. They're all fundamentally the same, varying only in dumb, minute features that only a cross-eyed Harley simpleton will take note of, so just use the Road Glide as the subject of our comparison. The 2023 Harley-Davidson Road Glide is powered by a 107 cubic inch air-cooled Milwaukee 8 engine. I don't know how many cc's that is, and truthfully it doesn't matter because it only makes like 70 horsepower to the rear wheel anyways. Although according to Harley's spec sheet, it is making 111 foot-pounds of torque. Torque is one thing a gargantuan Harley engine has going for it, and Honda even has them beat there, as the 2023 Goldwing makes 130 foot-pounds of torque. How sad. I think Harley needs to get a restraining order from Honda considering how relentlessly they've tormented them over the years. Even Papa Reagan couldn't keep Honda from rubbing Harley's face in the dirt. I think it's fair to say that the Road Glide is significantly less tech-friendly than the Goldwing as well, with ABS, links braking, hill start control, and traction control all being additional options that must be purchased on top of the base price. Although the Road Glide does have a wicked infotainment system, so you can bump Kid Rock and Ted Nugent while you and Karen head up to the local town bar and grill at Turtle's Pace. The Road Glide has a base MSRP of $21,999, but I tell you what, Harleys have a funny way of creeping up in price and getting closer to that 30 G's mark. I think for the touring dad who is looking to crush insane miles with ease and comfort, the Honda Goldwing makes the case for itself without requiring much advocacy. There is a reason it has been sold in the hundreds of thousands for the last 49 years. When Honda released the CB750, it was considered the king of motorcycles, and they nicknamed the Goldwing the King of Kings. So, my fellow kings, if you want to ride, get a Goldwing. While that may be a bit of an embellishment, the Goldwing has definitely remained the king of long-distance touring motorcycles. It is the gold standard. The continued evolution of this bike over the last 50 years has created a new benchmark for what a touring bike should still be capable of or equipped with. It's no coincidence that there are still Goldwings from the 80s still on the road today. The air suspension may be sagging or blown out, but the bones are good and they'll keep on running without much complaint. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. What are your thoughts on the Goldwing? Do you truly think it is goated, or are you just an ignoramus? Be sure to take a second to subscribe if you like the video. Between the new video content, new giveaway bikes, and exciting promos on YammyNoob.co, we have a ton happening in the coming months that you are not going to want to miss on. The easiest way to stay on top of all the excitement is to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Fact: Japan has one of the lowest crime rates in the entire world. Japan's crime rate, including theft, assault, and murder, is significantly lower compared to many other developed countries. This is often attributed to a combination of factors, including a strong sense of social order. Goodbye.
I love being here inside of the warm embryonic fluid of Valentino Rossi. Me and him just sharing foods together. Maybe he's going to eat some pizza or some pasta here in the hills of Tavullia. But you know where else it's nice and warm and cozy is this next episode of Yammy Noob. You can click on right over here. I'd love for you to watch it. But anyways, I'm going to stay here hanging out. Me and him might go onto the track later, but I'll catch you guys later.